So what's the best way to get out of work women back into the workforce? Well, some are advocating what's called preferential flexployment. It may be a mouthful, but essentially what it is part-time work with even greater flexibility. More now from Channel News Asia's Imelda Saan.
"44-year-old Angeline Lai's days are now spent baking. The mother of three joined social enterprise Bakery Hearts because no other part-time work suited her family responsibilities, which included taking care of her two sickly children.
If I'm going to outside to work, the minimum hour they have is 4 hours and I have to take unpaid leave or urgent leave. So it's quite difficult for me to find a job in such a way.
The women here come mostly from disadvantaged backgrounds. The program arose from the need to offer women like Madam Lai, who can't even commit to part-time jobs, a source of income. Here, these women can stipulate when they want to work and for how long. Based on the hours clocked in, they can earn up to $300 a month. It may not be much, but it does help.
I can set aside of the money for my children, like for raining days. Just like when they are fall sick, they need to see doctors or they need for school expenses. I can actually take out this money to give it to them.
Social workers say there's a gap between unemployment and part-time work, and that companies should start thinking about what they describe as preferential flexployment. That is, work that can be done in short bursts, located near homes, and even the option of bringing kids to work.
Part-time work at least require, I think, about 4 hours of work, and these hours can't be broken up into different slots. Yeah, so this is one challenge that they face. Another challenge is that part-time work also do require a minimum skills level or education qualifications, which many of these women may not have.
It's all about empowering the women, giving them a leg up and the confidence to move on to more stable jobs. Over the past 3 years, Bakery Hearts has helped 60 clients, some of whom went on to full-time work or even started their own business.
They do have some hidden potential that have yet to be tapped unless opportunities are given to them, and that's what we actually see through the program.
MP Foo Mee Har is well aware of this untapped manpower resource and of the women who need help. She approached the owner of this coffee shop, who agreed to employ residents on flexible terms.
Now, this coffee shop in Teban Gardens has been offering flexi work arrangements for the past 18 months, and so far 25 residents are on the program. They make up mostly of elderly women workers, and the owner, Mr. To, tells me that the arrangement has helped to ease his manpower crunch.
Workers here on flexi work term earn $5 an hour with CPF contributions. But beyond this group of older, less skilled women, there are also those armed with degrees who may be out of the workforce for some time due to family commitments. Observers say it's an untapped pool that could unlock manpower constraints seen in Singapore's tight labour market. The numbers are staggering. There were some 418,000 economically inactive persons between the ages of 25 and 64 as of June 2012. Of these, 4 in 5, or about 336,000, were women. Despite recent gains, Singapore's resident women labour force participation rate remains low at only 57.7% compared to that of men at 76%. Studies show a steep drop in the labour force participation rate when women reach their 30s. Employer groups have said that not all jobs are suitable for flexible work arrangements, but for those who do think out of the box, it can be done, like this company which offers enrichment classes for children. Its 80 or so staff are all given the option to choose when they want to work and even bring their children to work if needed.
Very good.
And the owner says it makes business sense to do so. All it takes is a little trust between employer and employee.
Because they are literally out there Monday to Saturdays, we do not actually require them to come to the office. So once we have the schedules fixed for them, we expect them to be in class. Okay, and naturally the schools expect that of us, right? And we also do not say that we need you to report to us when you're in school, and when you leave school, report to us. So there's this blind faith that they will be in school.
The arrangement has worked perfectly for this mother of four who used to work for the Education Ministry.
The company allows me to choose the schools, for example, that's around my area. So if I stay in the east, okay, they try to give me schools in the east, that's one thing. The company knows my working, my working hours with the children, like sending them to school at this time, and they have enrichment this time, pick up at this time, that time, So they say, Lynn, can you do this, at a certain time, and let's say they give me like 4 schools, for example, and these are the timings. Which one suits you best?
The government has over the years introduced various initiatives to encourage the hiring of economically inactive women. The Work Pro scheme, aimed at developing a core Singaporean workforce, has so far reached out to more than 340 companies. Under the scheme, employers get funding to implement work-life measures and redesign jobs. Back-to-work employees too benefit from measures like retention bonuses and workplace mentorship support. But Ms. Fu says a lot more can be done here in Singapore. In its position paper on women at work issued early this year, the PAP Women's Wing called for a phased-in legislation of flexi-work.
If we learn from the experience of other countries, fundamental changes do not happen naturally. If you look at developed countries such as Australia, UK, they do have some form of legislation to help people balance their caregiving responsibility with work. They do take the view that integrating work and family is a national concern, and the government will do something to champion this. Because if you leave it to the best efforts of companies and the occasional campaign of one agency, you won't be able to achieve the big change you want to see.
Now, whether it's through legislation or relying on the best efforts of companies, observers say just as crucial is mindset change for employers to be serious about offering flexi work, and for employees to say it's really okay and it doesn't mean anything about their work ethic if they choose to work on flexi terms.